Excuse me!
Step aside, or...
Our team captured the area.
Nope. I'm coming for you!
Hi.
No, 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 no. Fatality.
Hey guys, my name is BobLyn and welcome back to another video. Today we are playing 3v3 Team Skirmish in Tier 7 and we had a blast. I was playing with Seawolf and Bunne from Junges Wulfsrudel 44 and it was, like I said, a blast. We didn't lose any games. I think we played like 30 games, won every single one. So I was playing a couple of, I would say pretty good light cruisers, of course. I'm kind of try-harding in Team Skirmish. And I was playing the Flint, the Duca, and the Weimar, yes. And the Weimar I didn't quite, I found it to be, maybe a little bit too lackluster because the ranges on Team Skirmish 3v3 is very short, and the Weimar has pretty good range. Now you could say the same about the Duca, but that thing is just all around a great ship, and I have a gameplay of the Flint here and the Duca in this video, so I think you guys will enjoy that. Now the Flint is pretty much the sister ship of the Atlanta, and it is pretty much identical in guns and stuff. The torpedoes are quite a lot better in range capabilities than the Atlanta, but the guns on the Atlanta I believe are a little bit better. Now the Flint gets a suite of different consumables compared to the Atlanta. The Atlanta gets one normal smoke and it gets DFAA 3. The same gets Flint, they get the same DFAA because like they're the same ship, right? The Atlanta gets a smoke, but this one gets 3 fuel smokes, which is pretty nice. The Flint also gets 2 radar, whereas the Atlanta gets a sonar. Now, the Atlanta is an amazing ship, so the Flint is also going to be a great ship. I actually prefer the Flint because I feel like it's more flexible. You have those 3 fuel smokes and they are good for saving your life, whereas the Atlanta you have 1 smoke and it's gonna give you a lot of free damage for 20 seconds or something, but after that you're kind of on your own. And these ships are very, very lightly armored. They're easy to penetrate for BBs and even cruisers as well, DDs too, so you gotta be careful. As you see here in the gameplay, this thing is a monster at HE DPM, and this Nelson here, he's been quite lucky actually. I haven't gotten a lot of fires, but just the raw alpha damage in itself is enough. And we are right now 2v3, but I believe we're gonna take this one out, and we're just gonna push in. And now that we have the Nelson at low HP, I believe my BB can focus him down and I can take care of the DD and cruiser. So the Flint and Atlanta are also amazing destroyer hunters, no doubt about that. You swat through the AP and you just murder those DDs, like it goes so fast. It's also great against cruisers, but your main task, if you want to farm damage, is of course those battleships. You have good AA, but you kind of need to spec into it because it is tier 7. Even though it's tier 7, I feel like sometimes with DFAA 3 it doesn't really do much. But I mean, it is tier 7, right? So this end of the gameplay of this clip here is pretty hilarious. So this Shores right here, I don't know why, but he just hid behind this rock the whole time. He was pretty low, I suppose, but I mean, he could have helped his team or his one destroyer friend maybe win this game, because while the Nelson was alive, there was a lot of time they could have shot at us. But the Udachi has to do this on his own, and yeah, well, sometimes life sucks, huh? The Shores is out again, and I try my best to tell my teammate to, you know, take this guy out before he dips behind the island again. But he is gonna survive, and now we just have this Udachi barreling down at us, and luckily the Flint and the Atlanta, like I said, are great DD killers. I hope you also enjoyed the little montage. I simply had so many good clips, and that Udachi clip, you know, where I just full, you know, barreled it down into the cliff and dodged his torpedoes in the most cheesy bullshit way. I felt kind of bad, but it was also hilarious, I must say. So now we are gonna finish this Udachi here. I'm alone against these two guys, but I'm extremely confident that, you know, I'm gonna be fine. So we're just gonna fast forward this part where I look for the Shores, because I mean he really was hiding, as you will see, and that's why I didn't cut it, because I felt like you guys need to see how dedicated this guy was to camping this rock. They did, you know, they did have 2 caps, but at the same time there's 2 minutes left, and the maps are not big, so it's a valiant effort. I mean, it's kind of a gamble for him, I suppose. So, you know, instead of making no decision, it's just good you made a decision. But in the end, I will find you, because I have a radar and I have a smoke, and you will go to the bottom of the ocean right now. So the next game in the Duca Degli Abruzzi is also versus a Nelson, but this time there's a Belfast, another amazing cruiser in tier 7, and I don't know why, I just didn't feel like playing it. I feel like the Belfast is maybe a little bit too good with 3 smokes, but nonetheless, the Belfast is also pretty easy to deal with, especially for the Duca. The Duca has 12 kilometers of range at tier 7, and it's got 10 guns that reload pretty fast. You are an HE spammer, you don't have SAP, and you have, you know, normal standard HE and AP. And I really love this cruiser. This is, along with the Flint and some others, you know, other tier 7 cruisers, this is probably one of my favorites. It feels good, the shells feel good, the damage feels good. It's just all around a really nice feeling premium cruiser. So as you see here, I'm focusing on Nelson again, because I don't know why, they're so easy to hit. And as you see here, the shells are fast, like I said, they're really good. The Duca is also really good at killing DDs. It has good AP, so, you know, once you see light cruisers and DDs, swap to AP. So here comes the Lebrecht Mas, and we're gonna, you know, try out the HE here. The HE is not bad against DDs either. It's totally fine. And we get 5 hits, pretty good for this range. You don't get any gun consumables like rapid reload or precise aim, but the guns are good enough that you don't need it. You get a sonar and a DFAA. The DFAA is nothing to speak about. I mean, it's tier 7 cruiser AA. It's not gonna be great, and it's Italian too, right? But the sonar is nice to have, and that means you have the opportunity, or the chance, the capability, I should say, to hunt DDs. So as a cruiser player in 3v3 skirmers, what are your roles? What is the most important thing for you to increase the chance of your team winning? And that is, of course, taking out the most important targets, like the DDs. I actually tended to not focus on cruisers, since I was playing with 2 big battleships. So also recognize your team, what are your strengths, and if you have 2 BBs, you're good at killing cruisers and other battleships. If you have 2 cruisers, you're good at killing DDs. So a good mix of that on the team is important. But as a cruiser, you want to be all over the map. You want to be, you know, in the middle of sorts in the beginning. It's not a big map, so it's easy to get around. And you want to make sure you get some caps, because it's in the caps you meet the destroyers, and you want to spot the enemy battleships fast anyway if you're an HE spammer, because you just want to start spamming HE. In this game, we actually did a pretty big amount of damage for 3 ships on the enemy team, and there's a destroyer as well. I think we did 70 plus K. It's pretty impressive for a 3v3. But, you know, it is a premium cruiser, and it is an HE spammer, so it's just one of those games, you know, where you get lucky. But there are also a lot of other great cruisers out there, like the BobLyn, I would say, is a good cruiser. The York is not as good, but the Sarah is nice. There's a lot of good Tech 3 tier 7 cruisers out there. Speaking of lower tiers, I mean, I don't know why, but I've actually really been enjoying the low tier gameplay. This 3v3 skirmish has been so much fun. Maybe because we didn't lose a game. I think we were very, very lucky with the matchmaker today, to be honest, and we also played very good ships, so of course that is something to take into account. But it was all overall a very good experience, and same with the Novorossiysk. Oh man, that thing is hard to pronounce. The same thing with that tier 6 battleships. It's actually quite fun, and I will do my best to keep playing these ships, and you can expect a Tone video of all things. I had a very, very interesting gameplay in the Tone, so expect that video at some point this week. So yeah, we're just gonna take out this Nelson. I mean, it takes time, but he's not been firing at me, and that's just a blessing in a cruiser, right? That's the best thing that could happen if you just get to get free perma damage. Just perma fires, alpha damage. There you go, some torps as well. Oh, I forgot to mention, the Duca has really long range torps. You get 3 per side. And they are, I think it's almost 9.5 kilometers range, which is very impressive for tier 7 cruiser torpedoes. So that's a plus. I mean, you just chuck them down stuff, and if you're chasing a battleship or getting chased by a battleship, you have torpedoes on each side. 6 in total, that's pretty good damage, and it can maybe cause a flood as well. So guys, if you have any suggestions on what you want me to make videos on, if there's any ship that you really want to see a video on, or maybe a montage, send me a comment, join my Discord, or just private message me. I really, I love getting suggestions, and I tend to do them. Another thing I have thought about is fan gameplay, or subscriber gameplays, I should say. If you guys have a really cool gameplay, you can send it to me and I would do a video on it, kind of like Terry does. I always enjoyed those videos quite a lot, actually. So I thought about doing the same. In the comments, tell me what you think. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Anyways, let's get on. This is the final clip, and this is, also to demonstrate what movements I have, what's my plan of action in the game. And this is to get in the ACAP and contest it. There's a DD in here, and I want to contest it with my sonar and make sure my BBs are safe, so we all push in here at the same time. Now in something like Team Skirmish, having BBs push in, even in the 2DD game, is valuable because, I mean, I can kill a destroyer, yes, but if I have 2 battleships behind me, it's gonna go even faster. So BBs pushing in is something powerful. They have to be careful, of course, but at the same time, it's valuable for me as a cruiser player when I have this. So we have this Algerie here, and here you're gonna see some of the long range capabilities. I mean, he's 9 kilometers away. You don't have the best dispersion, of course, at 9 kilometers, but this one is pretty nice. Look at that, through the gap, and even all hits, nice. So I was thinking I was gonna get this Algerie, but he did an amazing job actually of dodging my shells to the best of his ability. So I see a smoke screen on my starboard side, and I chuck my torps, and I see that there is a Jarvis. And I start shooting AP. You see the AP does quite a bit of damage, and it's pretty accurate at these ranges. This 30 of his health. I decided to go for the Algerie instead because, I thought my BBs might be able to handle him, but, this Algerie is also being focused. So there's nobody looking at this DD right now, I think. I don't know. But no, he's still not dying. Look at this. I was like, what is going on? But all of a sudden, I get a hit with my torpedo. I don't know what happened, but I think that Jarvis got behind the island, saw my teammate in the battleship, and then he reversed out into my torpedo. This was almost a double strike, but not quite. So this is pretty much the video, guys. I want to thank you for watching, and again, if you have suggestions for ships you want to see, I don't have a CC account yet, so it's not every ship I have, but I have a lot of ships, so I might have the one you want a video of. For the end here, we have this Gajamada here, and here you can see a ton of damage with these guns right here, and I mean, they're just so fun to use. Goodbye to the Gajamada. And goodbye to you guys. My name has been BobLyn, signing off.